Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to get your day off on a good foot. And I think you're going to like today's card. I'm going to do a little bit of discernment with it because I think sometimes people misunderstand this particular word. But we'll give it a minute here for everybody to find me and start popping on. But let's start with some nice deep breaths. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Allow your shoulders to relax. Just wiggling a little bit. See if there's any grindies in your neck. Someone just popped on. Glad you're here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Susan is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Abigail's here. Good morning. Glad you're here. Thank you for the pretty sunrise and sunshine. Appreciate it. Still pitch black out here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Just resting, settling in, focusing. And that's actually going to be a piece of our card today, is maintaining focus. And how many of us struggle with that? I was talking to someone the other day, and she had just talked to someone, and she said that the average attention span for a student these days is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. How much can you teach somebody in 5 minutes? So no wonder we have difficulties. So we can practice attention span. That's one of the beautiful side effects of meditation. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Carolyn. Glad you are here. Welcome. I'm not sure what time your surgery is tomorrow, but we're sending you good juju. Everything's going to be fabulous. Smooth as silk. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad everybody's popping on, finding me. That's good. And we have a card deck we haven't had for a little while, which is always fun. I like to see when they pop up. Soul Coaching by Denise Lynn. What your soul wants you to know. What your soul wants you to know. And again, it was another one of those serendipitous things where I pulled the cards out of the box, dumped them into my hand, and the bottom card was this card, but I shuffled and did my thing and split the deck and all the things that I typically do, knocking the energy out of it, starting fresh, and that's the card that popped up. There are no accidents. There are no accidents. So, Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn, What Your Soul Wants You to Know. And our card for today is impeccability. Impeccability. I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. It's all going to be great. It's all going to be just smooth as silk. That's going to be our phrase, smooth as silk. All right, so here we go. Impeccability. One more nice deep breath in. And out. Good job. Good job. Here we go. Card meaning. Now is the time to be impeccable in your responsibilities, relationships, and home environment. Gather your discipline and integrity around you like a sacred cloak. Don't you love that? Isn't that a great line? Gather your discipline and integrity around you like a sacred cloak. No matter what it takes, maintain your power, intent, and focus. Pay attention to details. Okay, so sometimes we're meant to focus on the bigger picture. Sometimes we're meant to focus on details. Now is detail time. Your soul wants you to know this isn't the time to be lackadaisical or whimsical. This calls for discipline, focus, truthfulness, and certitude, that sense of knowing. Hone your skills, don't speak unnecessarily, and pay great attention to details. See what needs to be done and do it effectively, swiftly, and with a nobility of heart. Isn't that a cool phrase too? Nobility of heart. You'll reap immense rewards for doing this now. Again, the affirmation is, I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. So I'd like you to think about impeccability. Where in your life would you like to see yourself being more impeccable? More focused, more, and I actually looked up impeccable just to get a real sense of the word. In accordance with the highest standards. In accordance with the highest standards. So What standards are you setting for yourself? Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. Where are you setting the standards for yourself? How high is the bar? And I'm not suggesting that we need to set these impossible standards for ourselves, because that just sets us up, right? But all of us can probably boost up our standards a little bit in various regards. Where are we getting a little bit sloppy with our attention, our choices, our decisions, our word? You know, sometimes it's easy to tell those little white lies, especially if it makes it easier for us, etc. So we want to not do that. We want to be as honest as we can be about things. Again, I think it's interesting that this word pops up at this point in time in our history, when we look around and we see so many people in the public eye not being very honest with their word, not being impeccable, not keeping those highest standards. So, time for us to do better. Time for us to do better. So, I want to pick those things out again that really spoke to me. Gather your discipline and integrity around you like a sacred cloak. What does that chime for you? How does that sit with you? I like that idea, because to me that says that this is going to be protective and it's going to be comforting to be impeccable with our discipline, our word, our integrity, etc. Gather your discipline and integrity around you like a sacred cloak. I love that. Pay attention to details. Some of us are not overly detailed people. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. Welcome. Some of us are not overly detailed people. We tend to be big picture kind of people. But we can discipline ourselves. We can discipline ourselves just even asking, have I dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's? I'm now in the stage of doing 2 grant applications, and those need T's crossed and I's dotted. So, and I already have people lined up who are going to read them once I have the rough drafts done, to make sure that I have indeed crossed my T's and dotted my I's. Let me find that other sentence that really grabbed me. This calls for discipline, focus, truthfulness, and certitude. Certitude is a good word. We don't often hear that one anymore either, but I like that as a word. It's about being solid and strong and confident in what you've said, what you've done. You just have that sense of knowing. All right? So we're going to practice our certitude today. So feel that right now. Where in your body do you feel certitude? I kind of feel it in the soles of my feet, because I think it's a grounding thing, and in my solar plexus, so power center. Certitude. Such a good word. Such a good word. As is impeccability and integrity. Like all of these. These are really cool. So can you kind of see yourself buffing yourself off a little bit, dusting off some of the dusts of lackadaisical and what was the other word that they whimsical. We're not going to be quite as whimsical right at the moment. We're going to be focused and attentive and present, etc. That's another good aspect of this, I believe, is present, being present in the moment. How many of us are so far ahead, right? So we want to be paying attention to right here, right now. So I'm going to show you the card again. Impeccability. Impeccability. So if you want to put in the feed in what area of your life you'd like to be more impeccable, that is cool. We can hold space for that. We can hold space for a lot of things today, right? So impeccable in your responsibilities. For me right now, impeccable in my responsibilities is getting these 2 grant applications done and doing them well, taking the time to gather the information that needs to be added to them, and then running them past people who are wiser than me in terms of filling out grant applications. So doing my due diligence, doing the steps and not cutting corners, not skipping over steps. All right? So that's the plan for today. What will you do today? What will you do today to be impeccable? have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. And those of you who get my newsletter, today's newsletter, it already went out. I'm focusing on my Black Friday specials. So those of you who would like an opportunity to coach for a discounted price and or to do my, I had someone yesterday who purchased both the 8-session Black Friday coaching special and the clutter clearing class, lightening your load is what it's called. So she wants a little more support as she's clearing her clutter. So I thought that was a great idea. Do both. So you can find those. If you're not on my mailing list and you would like to be, you can just send the word newsletter to Bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com. All little letters, all spelled out. Bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com. You can just send newsletter and I'll add you to that particular list. And for those of you who would like to get these early morning intuitive guidances, YEMIG, your early morning intuitive guidance, YEMIG, by email, just send the word yes to that same email address, Bonnie@empowermentandpurpose.com. So have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I know you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.